What is virtual reality? Virtual reality, or VR for short, is a computer-generated simulation of three-dimensional environments that can be interacted with in a seemingly real or physical way. VR headsets like the Oculus Quest 2, Valve Index, or Pico 4, and PlayStation VR also, they basically use sensors and screens to create the illusion of being immersed in a virtual world like, well, this one. Now, virtual reality is not that difficult to experience. You do need a VR headset. A VR headset basically is just like a regular headset like the Quest 2 with a display in it. So kind of think of it as a phone right next to your eyes. That's probably the closest thing as an example for it. Now, the way you're able to see virtual reality is by a VR headset. A VR headset inside of it, like the Quest 2, has like a display. So you put it on basically like goggles or glasses, and since it has a display right in front of you, your eyes are seeing what's in the display, which allows you to see virtual reality content. Or for instance, it's kind of like one of those cheap ones where it's like a headset and you slide your phone in, or just holding your phone really close to your eyes, but in a way that you're actually able to see it, not like super close when you're not able to see anything. Now, the potential benefits of VR. There are many potential benefits to VR technology in general. For example, VR can be used for education and training, allowing people to learn new skills in a simulated environment without the risk of real-world consequences. VR can also be used for therapy and rehab, like helping people with physical or mental health issues to overcome challenges and improve their quality of life. So when it comes to learning in VR, there are plenty of new apps and apps already available for people to learn new languages and skills. And also when it comes to entertainment, you can definitely use YouTube and watch VR movies in VR. And of course, you can also play video games for those people who want to play and do stuff in the gaming side, like how they do on Xbox and on PlayStation. It might be different since you're using a VR headset. Yes, you can stream them and see them in your display like how you're watching a video on YouTube, but in VR, it would be somewhat sort of the same way, but you could see a difference in lag and on, how fast it's displayed, like 120 hertz or less or laggy. All depends on your connection and the headsets, and then all sorts of other stuff. But entertainment, learning, and gaming are available in VR. Like I said before, a VR headset, it's kind of like a phone. You can use it for entertainment, to learn things, or for gaming, or even for social media. Yes, you can do that as well in virtual reality. The potential drawbacks of VR. Like any technology ever created, VR has its own set of drawbacks. One concern is the potential for addiction, as some people may become too immersed in the virtual world and neglect their real-life responsibilities like work, school, family, stuff in general. Basically anything you can think of that, you get addicted and then you just completely forget about your responsibilities. Stuff like that can happen with VR, just like a phone. VR can also be expensive, with high quality headsets and accessories costing hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This is true if you want to buy the latest of technology and of course full body tracking, the best VR headset, but at the same time it's like a phone or like anything technology. You can buy a good budget one that does almost the exact same things, just not as powerful, or you can buy the latest and greatest phone with every accessory that it has, like cool skins, screen protectors, all the phone cases, etc. You know, which buying the latest and greatest or even buying accessories for it isn't bad. It's just, can you afford it? Does it fit in your budget? Would it affect your responsibilities you have in real life, like debt or bills and stuff? If you don't have to worry about any of that, then go for it. But just be careful if you're in debt or you really do not have the financial support when it comes to that. That comes with that's with basically everything. Just be careful how much money you spend on certain things. Is it necessary, etc.? You know what I mean? Same thing with VR. It's a device. It's like a phone. Do you really need the latest and greatest? Do you really need this cover? Do you really need this template or screen protector or accessory with it? Do you really? And of course, if you want it, then go right ahead. If you have the money for it and you saved up for it and you want to buy it, go right ahead. Just be careful with your budget and with the money you have. Just be responsible, you know, with financial purchases. The future of VR. Despite the potential drawbacks, VR technology is only going to continue to improve and become more widespread in the coming years. Companies like Facebook, PlayStation, ByteDance, HTC are investing heavily in VR research, and of course the list goes on and on and on. And we can only expect to see more and more VR applications and experiences in the future. And of course, this is true. If you go to events, they're showing even more headsets than before, and more headsets are actually being made. And to be honest, they're really, really good. Stuff that even the Quest 2 is starting to look old, besides the price. But then again, they did bump up the price, which really does, in my opinion, that was terrible. That really was, but hey, I guess they're trying to make their money back. In conclusion, VR technology is a complex and multi-faceted topic with both potential benefits and drawbacks. It is important, however, to consider both sides when evaluating the role that VR should play in our lives. Basically, don't get addicted to it, and if you're able to balance your screen time on your phone with IRL responsibilities and, you know, being healthy, then that same basically pattern, the way you use your phone and your screen time, is going to basically transfer over to VR, meaning that the way you treat your phone and your life when you buy a VR headset and when it becomes the norm, more than likely that's how much time you're going to be spending on it. But VR does get fatigued when you wear it too much, so you could see that decreasing, but with headsets being lighter every year, yeah, it's gonna be the same screen time you have with your phone, or maybe even less. So the question's off to you. Do you have VR headsets? Are you planning to buy one? Do you think it's the future? I certainly think so, but you know, I could be completely wrong. But it seems that they're getting better and lighter, and displays, FOB, everything, more games are coming out, more applications, people are doing all sorts of cool things in VR. It seems VR has a very bright future. Make sure to subscribe to see more content like this, and as always, Jesus Christ loves you, and I hope you have a blessed day. Stay blessed. I'm not gonna lie, this world looks pretty cool. Here, have a look. Virtual 2021 conference. I've never even been in one, ever. Maybe this year or next year. Still, it's a very cool world in my opinion. And it's pretty tall too.